Reach out and touch the sky. In the city of angels, feels like I'm coming home. With my head up in the clouds, I am searching for something, and I'm still hoping. 'Cause I wanna be in, not out, wanna make this all count. Yes, I wanna go crazy now, gonna make this all count. Feeling like a rock star, 'cause tonight I'm getting out of line and it's alright. Feeling like feeling like just as cool as John Wayne in his movies. Feeling like I'm James Dean and I know it. Feeling like feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star.
But it's not that easy. You're complicating things for me. No, it's not that easy. Maybe just a little time can heal me, but it doesn't feel the way. What are you doing to me? Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. just that stupid. Maybe just a little time can make you change your mind about us. I thought that we were meant to be. Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. For you. For you.
Hey, I've got you on my mind. Yeah, you're all that I think about. You know you got me going wild. And what I want is you. Could you come a little closer? I want you by my side. And I'll try the best I can to make you feel this way. Don't let me down, down, down. It could be you and I want you now, 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 now. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. Tell me what you wanna do. Yeah, 'cause I'd do anything. I just wanna be with you. How can you make me feel this way? Don't let me down, down, down. It could be you and I want you now, 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 now. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you. I just wanna hear you say that you want me to. I told you I can't get you off my mind. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here. I wanna stay here with you. I wanna stay here with you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna stay here with you.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. Hope you're having a good night. This is the pre-show. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. I don't have the eye patch on tonight, but I still think my face looks kind of weird. This eyebrow is like, so this eye doesn't open as much as this eye does. So in order for this eye to open as much as this eyebrow is like doing all kinds of extra work. So I still have a problem kind of moving my eye around, but I can use both eyes if I look straight forward. So you're going to see me kind of put my head in like weird positions tonight, just so that I can focus on things. But the fact that my eye is opening up and I could actually focus on things is a huge improvement from last week. So I want to thank everybody for your prayers and your thoughts and your Hail Marys or whatever you end up doing. I want to thank y'all for the good thoughts. But my eye is, I want to say probably in like 3 to 4 weeks will be like back to like normal Sean. But for now, I'm still kind of, I'm just trying to use my eye to make sure it just doesn't, go dormant. But as soon as this show is over, I'm probably going to go to bed and rest my eyes. But yeah, big news. I'm sure you've heard and have watched several videos at this point about the Air 3 coming out. I have to say that I was underwhelmed by the leaks, but I'm pretty impressed with the drone as it is today. I'll have to say that. I really, really enjoyed. I think Potato Jet's video is the one that really sold me. He went out and used it for a month. He didn't go on and on about all this DJI stuff. Like, he actually just went out and used the drone, and I was really impressed by his footage. And he's the one that I always watch because I trust him from a videographer standpoint. Everybody else, even my channel, we talk about the specs of the drones, how far it can fly, how long it could stay in the air, what's the connection, am I going to lose connection, all of those things. But when I watch Potato Jet's videos, he's really like, he doesn't have a lot of bull crap on his channel. He's not like kissing anybody's butt. He's like, this drone is going to fall apart in low light. Or this drone is going to, like, his active track sucks. The part of his video where it was talking about active tracking, he kept losing it. So he's like, he's doing real work. He's chasing, a guy on a dirt bike or chasing cars around the desert, stuff like that. Spotlight worked for the first time, but it didn't work the second time. His active track, like, you could see where the drone kind of fell apart. And those are the kind of videos that I make where I'm like, well, let's just go out there and try it. Let's fly it and see what happens. Well, it worked half of the time, but there are a lot of drone reviewers and people that get the drones, ahead of time, and they sign all these papers. They're not going to say anything bad about the drones. Like, a lot of those reviews are like, yeah, this is great. It's, it's marketing. This has all of these like amazing things about it, but they don't really show you like real world scenarios. So I loved seeing Potato's video. I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison of the specs from Amazon that I think will put a lot of things into perspective. It's easy to go through DJI's website and see, wow, this thing's awesome, but it is literally a sales pitch, right? And then there are, like I said, a lot of the reviewers out there that already have the drones they're sales pitches. They really are. They're great guys, and I think, you know, I would love to be one of those guys that gets all kinds of views and gets free stuff. But the but I the thing, and I'll get into it a little bit later. But the thing that everybody always thinks that this is what I got from Potato's video. The Air 2S has a 1-inch sensor, and both cameras on the Air 3 have 1/1/3 sensors, which is it's smaller than a 1-inch sensor, but it's not like really a whole lot smaller. It's not like half of a 1-inch sensor. I mean, it's if you look at a chart, it's smaller. But and everybody thinks that the video is going to be worse based on that, but the aperture is like a 1.8, I think, which is so. There's two things that come into play when you're working with low light. There's the shutter speed, there's the iris and the shutter speed, right? And the sensor. But like, you could have a really big sensor, but have a tiny hole you're looking through. Like, you know, the shutter or the f-stop can be smaller, but with a 1.8 f-stop, you can open that up and get enough low light to work with that small sensor. And, you know, if you think about your iPhones can take amazing video in low light because they've got that math right. So just because it doesn't have a 1-inch sensor doesn't mean that it's a bad drone. The bigger the sensor, the more pixels you get to grab. But what the Air 3 has that the Air 2S, you know, that's better than the Air 2S is it has a bigger processor, and it can handle 4K 100 frames per second. So 4K 100 frames per second is awesome. 1080 at 200 frames per second, holy crap. I don't know anybody that wants to film in 1080 from a drone, because you usually want to, you know, you want the best quality from the drone, and then if you're doing a 1080 production, you want to be able to crop in if you want to. But so I saw some comment. Let's go through roll call, and we will get back to the Air 3 talk at 7. So John Carroll was the first one in the house. And then Stephen Drones showed up. Welcome, Steve. Hope you're having a wonderful night. And I'm going to try to read your comments as I go. I'm still not totally good at reading yet. I love this comment. What do you need 3 cameras for? So Steve, you don't need 3 cameras, but if you think of like normal cameras, people get different lenses for different shots, and having 3 different lenses on your drone, 400 feet up in the air, you know, 1,000 feet away from you, being able to switch between those 3 cameras, that's the point. But I did see that you can't switch between lenses while you're filming on the Air 3. That was another thing in Potato's video, so we're gonna get into that as well. If anybody has the Mavic 3, let me know if you can switch between lenses on that drone, because I don't know. But yeah, we'll get into that. Let's see who else is in the house. Dustin from One Vision Aerials in the house. Welcome. Hope you're having a good night. Loving the hearts that you guys are sending me. I don't know what that does. Does that do anything? I know on wait, let me see if we're okay, we are. That is a definite advantage of a hexacopter. Is I know on the H Plus, that is in the marketing material that if you lose a blade, you can still land your drone properly. I don't know if they had thought about that on the H, because that I don't remember that when I was going over all of the specs on the H, but I know on the H Plus and on, that was like a huge thing. Was, you know, if you got 4 blades and one of your drones comes off, or one of your blades comes off, your drone is going to start like flipping around. But on a hexacopter, you got 6 blades. 5 blades can get the thing back to the ground safely. So that's pretty cool. Bam's in the house. What's up? Welcome to the channel. Let's see. So John said he hasn't got a shirt yet, so be looking for that. I got notification that it was delivered, so hopefully it got delivered to the right mailbox. Chris from Sunrise Water Media is in the house. Welcome. Hope you're having a good night. Jim's Droning's in the house. What's up? Chuck from Covaction's in the house. So he said now the eye's moving. I did like a little video test while I was waiting for my son to get out of football practice. And my eye is actually going in that direction finally. So it's not going all the way because it's not moving in tandem with the other eye. So when I look over in that direction, I've got like double exposure, but it's not near as double as it used to be. And then the other problem I was having is when I go up and down, everything kind of rotates on the axis. So the horizon looking straight kind of goes like this when I look up and goes like this when I look down. That's still an issue, but not as much as it has been for the last month. I really started seeing progress this week. Like, I want to say Monday I woke up. So yesterday I woke up and I tried to go through the entire day with my eye open. I was even driving with my eye open and everything. And I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience when you're looking at things in 3D, and sometimes they're off, or the 2 eyes are off. Like you focus on one eye and then you just tell your brain that this is the eye that's right. That's kind of what I was doing when I was driving. I was like, even though you see one thing that you're looking at is in this way, and then the trees like up here as well as it's going by, I just kind of ignored that stuff. And then, and it's also reminds me of like you guys remember those Magic Eye posters? I think it was Magic Eye. I think that's what it was called. But you would it'd be like this just kind of weird pattern, and then you'd cross your eyes and you'd focus on these. You take these 2 dots and you make them one, and you focus on that for a really long time, and then your eye muscles would kind of get stuck there a little bit, and then you could look around in that cross-eyedness. That's kind of like what I'm doing all the time. Like when my eyes are off, I'm forcing them to kind of connect the dots. So anyway, thanks for noticing, Chuck. Drone Life is in the house. Drone Life RC, welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good night. He gave me a hand pink waving. For some reason, that emoji didn't come across over to Talk Studio. So Bam, what is the Air 3? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That is a drone that just came out with DJI. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but either way, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Oh, and I know Chris is being sarcastic. All right, so John went out to the mailbox and grabbed it. He said, Sean, I have the shirt. What a nice color choice. Also, thank you for the sticker. It will go on my Mavic 3 Pro case that he just got. Awesome. So John won the contest last month with the project Flipped. And so he picked out a shirt, and I was slow getting it to him because the money was tight whenever he won, and so I had to wait a whole nother week to get paid. So I sent him the shirt, and because it took so long for me to get the prize out to him, I also bought him, and he is the only person on the planet that has one right now, the Sean-Eyed Studios Blade sticker with the new logo. So, is it big, John? If you could take a picture of what you got and put it on the club, and maybe I can put it up. I can show everybody else by the time this live stream's over. No pressure, but I think that would be cool. So this is Chuck's consensus. The Air 3 is kind of underwhelming still to me. Mini 3 Pro and Mavic 3 Classic suit me well, but if you need a new drone, just do your homework first. Yep. So I think the sensors are the same on the Air 3 and the Mavic 3 Pro, or the Mini 3 Pro. The biggest difference is the sensors on the Air 3, and the flight time. Flight time's right up there with the Mavic 3 Pro. But yeah, I'm getting kind of, and I said this on Lone Star's live stream last hour, that I feel like the incremental changes are getting kind of, yeah, I think, Chuck, that's a great word for it, is underwhelming. Like, I want like a huge jump, and with the Air series, I'm afraid that the Air series is starting to do what Apple does, and they introduced the iPhone 7 and then the iPhone 7S. Like, why don't you just give me an 8? Like, why did you, like, I feel like the Air 3 is a rush to production, and then they fix it and put out the S. Like we got the Mini 3. Whoa, the Mini 3 was amazing. Everybody was like, oh, this is a new innovative little drone. And then they came out with the Mini 3 Pro, and it's like, the Mini 3 is a piece of crap now. Like, so I don't know if I'm going to jump on the Air 3. I might wait to see if they come out with an Air 3S in a year. I don't know. I've kind of moved my focus to 360 content, and I've got the Inspire 2, and I'm just going to play with that for a while. So we'll see what happens. So Michael said that Billy Kyle had a picture of a crashed Air 3. Not sure if it was his. I totally agree. I used Active Track a little bit. I tell you, the best drone that I ever had with Active Track on it was my Paradanafi. That thing was wonderful. It had all these like really cool like tripod modes, like parallel. You could have it like spin around you while you're walking around. The only problem with the Paradinafi was that it didn't have any sensors on it at all. So the I think DJI has a good opportunity with their sensors on all their drones and everything like that. But yeah, like the active track. The thing that I don't understand is you draw like a rectangle around somebody, right? Or yourself. And you have the controller in your hand. And whenever the drone gets too far to recognize you, it turns into like a map point. And it's basically pointing at the GPS location of the controller. Like it knows where that is. Like how does it like lose it? Like even going past trees and stuff like that, like on my unique Typhoon H, like 6 years ago, like I had a remote control, or the Wizard, I think it was called, and you could like it would know where that Wizard was because it had a GPS location in it. Like how does Active Track lose what it's tracking? Especially if there's a controller in the guy's hand. That's what I don't understand. You got the Wizard. The Skydio has a little remote control. Like other people have done it, like good. But I hope I didn't miss anybody. I've been rambling. Chris is in the house. Drone Life. I said, introduce you. Who else we got? If possible. Let's see. Lee's in the house. Kirasho is in the house. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good night. So Chuck said, I've never tried to switch to the 7x Tele on the Mavic 3 because, well, it sucks. So the both. So we're going to look at Amazon, but on Amazon, the sensors for 2 of the cameras on the Mavic 3 are the same sensor as the Air 3 has. The only difference is the big camera on the Mavic 3s is a micro four thirds, which is awesome. It's funny. Like the Mavic 3 has like a micro four thirds and then 2 tiny little baby sensors. And then the Air 2S has a 1-inch sensor, which is a sweet spot for me. It's not as good as micro four thirds, but the 1-inch is a sweet spot. Like it does a great job and everything's nice and crispy on it. Especially by the time you compress it and put it on YouTube. See, did I miss anybody? Wait, who's Warren? Lake Pilots in the house. What's up? Hope you're having a good night. Everybody saying hi to each other. Maddie's in the house. What's up, Maddie? Hope you're having a good night. I saw a picture of you on Facebook with look like some crab legs. I haven't had a good crab leg in a while. So after seeing your picture, I'm gonna have to go get me some. The problem is, like up here in Nashville, our crab legs aren't near as good as they are down in Florida. Who else we got? Did I miss anybody? Charles Gillespie's in the house. What's up, Charles? Hope you're having a good night. So Michael said he almost lost his POS today. Keeps crashing it. I haven't flown my POS in a long time. I need to either get that out and fly it or sell it. So Maddie says that the Goggles 2 and the Integras are now compatible with the DJI FPV drone. That's pretty awesome. I bought the DJI FPV Goggles 2 or version 2 or V2 or that's what I fly with my FPV. Does that, Maddie, does that increase the range at all? I'd be interested to know. There will be 100% an Air 3 Pro, but it's going to be a year at least. I totally agree with you. And I think I'm going to wait on that. I think right now, if I was going to buy a new drone, I'd probably get the Mavic 3 Classic, just so I could have a Micro Four Thirds fold-up drone. I don't really care about the two crappier cameras on the Mavic 3, like the original, or even the other Mavic 3 that came out, the Cine. I don't know. I like the Micro Four Thirds is the only camera on that drone that I think would be great. So Gary's in the house. What's up, Brett? I mean, Gary from Brett Ariels. Hope you're having a good night. So Maddie said all you need to do is upgrade your, or like update the firmware on your goggles and Tegra. Then you can fly the FPV drone. It's pretty awesome. The Anafi was cool. Yes. I wish I could have got my hands on the Anafi USA, because that drone was beefy and it was a Parrot. And I still don't think like out of the box, any drone has topped Parrot's, like the missions you could do with the Parrot. I don't even remember what they were called. What were they called? There weren't waypoints. I don't remember. But one of my next videos that I'm going to do is use DroneLink to control my DJI Inspire 2, because I'm about done with with all the things the Inspire 2 can do. I'm not impressed with what it can do. I love flying it. It is a beast in the air, but as far as the app is still the Go 4, which is like 7 years old. So who else? Do you have anybody? We got 18 people in here. I'm sure somebody else snuck in. Draymond showed up. What's up, Draymond? Hope you're having a good night from Recovery One. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Bob Casey's in the house. Bob already bought one, so we might have to have a another meetup so I can watch somebody else fly their Air 3 while I save money to get one myself. Let's see. I love the love y'all have. Brother Bob friggin' Casey. That's awesome. Man, I'm going slow. I'm like 7 minutes behind the chat. So Warren is Akirasho. I don't know how to say that. Is that like, it sounds like a Japanese steakhouse. Like Akirasho. Makes me think of like one of those places that they like cook the food in front of you and they're like, oh, you want the chicken McNugget? The chicken McNugget? I hope that wasn't racist. I wasn't trying to be racist at all. But it reminds me of one of those places, and that's how the guy sounds when he's talking to the kids. I don't think that's how he sounds in real life. So, Jim, this is the thing that has driven me nuts with the whole... I talked about this whenever I was doing my video on the Mavic 3 Pro with the goggles and the motion controller. Because, like, I feel like DJI at this point should have their crap together. And with the FPV system, like, even though there are a lot of things in the DJI FPV systems that have come out that are improvements on, like, bind and fly capabilities of, you know, a lot of the drones you can manufacture on your own. Like, they've added GPS, they've added return to home, they've added, like, the safety features that you can just, like, if you lose connection on, like, an FPV drone, like, your drone just falls out of the sky because it's not getting any more communication. Like, you know, they've put all those safety things in. They've got remote ID in there. They've got, you know, they've got a lot of that stuff. And then they come out with goggles that can record telemetry, but then the next version doesn't record telemetry. So you've got to upgrade those. And then, oh yeah, we forgot to put remote ID in these goggles. So we put them in the next goggles. But in order to put those remote ID in the next goggles and attach the battery to the back of those goggles, we decided that, you know, we'll just change the way we do the eyes. We'll just take a step back on those and we'll ship, like, I don't know, 10 versions of lenses so that people with eye problems can fix their eyes on their goggles. Like, I wish I could be in those meetings, because I'm a software developer, so I'm in meetings where people make stupid decisions and it all has to do with budget, or it has to do with, you know, development velocity, and we don't have enough developers to design that in time to meet this deadline to go live and make more money for the company. And so, but it drives me nuts whenever there are version 2s or there are, you know, if you think about it, we've had the original DJI FPV goggles, which were awesome when they came out. And then they came out with the version 2s of those. You've got the Avata has already come out with 2 different versions of goggles for the Avata. So that's 4 goggles for the DJI FPV. But it's not their first time ever making goggles. Like, they had the white goggles back in the day that you could use with the Phantom 4. And then they came out with the RC edition that you could fly FPV drones with those goggles. And then, like, I don't know, I just feel like, so there's I've just mentioned 6 different pairs of goggles at this point that DJI has designed, and they still come out with like these weird things that whenever you had like the goggles, but you couldn't record what was on the goggles unless you plugged them into a smart controller. Like, I don't know. I just think all that's weird. Like I lose trust whenever they make decisions like that. I don't know. Like, they make great strides. Like when the Mini came out, well, we got a drone that can fly in the air, and you don't have to register it because it hardly weighs anything. And they've come out with 3, like maybe was it 5 versions of that drone now at this point, with the Pros and the SEs and all those. Like, I don't know. They just keep getting our money. So now I've gone backwards. So Chuck said that Avata is more his speed. I love the Avata. I love the first Cinewoop that I ever bought. Like, it was just, to me, that's a great, like, if you're going to fly really fast towards objects or around objects, I love the ability to bounce off things and not just, like, if you accidentally make a mistake, then you've fallen out of the air. So let's see who else. Now we're down to 15. So I said something that made people leave. I'm just kidding. So Chuck said, the Mavic 3 Classic is just so darn good. That's the only camera you need. I agree. Like my Inspire, I can't fly. I mean, it'll carry more than one camera, but like with the Inspires, like my Inspire 2, and I can't even talk about the Inspire 3 yet because I've watched videos on it, but I can't really speak to all the things it can do yet. But the Inspire 2 is what I'm focusing on right now, and the X4S is the Phantom 4 camera, so it's okay. But I'm underwhelmed with that camera. Completely underwhelmed with it. The X5S I've been flying for a couple weeks, and it is a really impressive camera, but it's one of those that you have to keep your eye on it. Like, it's got a certain depth of field that you can go out of focus pretty easy. And I'm still trying to figure out how to keep the autofocus square in the middle. Like, you can tap the screen to focus on things, but as you're flying through the air, like, things aren't always the same distance from the camera. So there's at times when the footage looks a little soft because you're not really in focus. And so I'm playing around with the fiddliness of that professional camera. It's one of those, like, even it's such a good camera that but like, it's almost like that kind of camera should be on a tripod and you should set everything and then not move the camera. But when you've got a camera on a drone and that drone is constantly moving through the air, it's having to like change focus over and over and over again to keep that focus going. And so I'm still playing with that. So let's see. So Jim said the Mavic 3 4/3 is better than the Classic. I'm confused. I thought they were the same camera. So Maddie says, to be honest, he wouldn't mind the Classic either. He doesn't need a second lens. So Charles says, it's good to see me without the patch. I appreciate it. I'm trying my hardest. I think I'm doing a pretty good job reading what you guys are saying. Even though it kind of just looks like I got punched or something tonight. Like my eyelid is still sagging. And my eyebrow is like pulling up as high as it can. I've been getting kind of like pains in my eyebrow, and I think it's because I'm using my eyebrow more than I usually do to like compensate for all of this like eyelid sag. Like I'm doing all this with my eyebrow just to keep my eye open enough so that I can use my eye. So we'll get there, but I appreciate the kind words. So Jim said it's not identical. The two cameras. So we're going to look at the Go 4 app tonight. That's another video I have planned for the chat, for the live stream. Dang, it's 7:20 and I'm just getting through roll call. Zero Gravity's in the house. What's up? Zero Gravity posted a face red heart shape, face red heart shape, face red heart shape. I don't know what that looks like. Oh, yep, I saw it. It looks like Spider-Man, kind of. But thank you for the emojis. Hope you're having a good night. All right, I'm going to go through these. I think I've said hi to mostly everybody. I want to get into... I feel like I'm too far behind. Oh, I caught up. What? Okay. So now that I've caught up, let's go ahead and get into the topic of the night, because I know you guys haven't heard a thing about the Air 3, and this is the first live stream video. Like, this is breaking news for y'all at this point. But I want to show y'all. Move this out of the way. I'm going to share system audio, but I'm going to turn the audio off. So we're going to play this video real quick. I'm going to put a whole bunch of things in front of it so it doesn't think. I don't know. We're just going to try. I've turned all the audio off. So this is the Air 3. It's a cute little drone. It's a little taller than before, but it has sensors all around it. So these are all beautiful shots. These are the 70 millimeter. This is the 24 millimeter. I'm just going to stop talking because these clips are going by really fast. Then we're going to go back and we're going to look at the shots. Oh, it's got a new controller. Forgot all about that. 46-minute flight time. 100 frames per second at 4K, which is pretty impressive. So it's got a beefier processor in it to handle those frames per second. Love that shot. O4 HD video transmission. It's good for pinchers, so you know it's good. It has really good low light capabilities as well. That's something Potato Jet was talking about. And it has HDR video, 4K 60 frames per second HDR. So if you don't know what HDR is, it really helps with the exposure. Exposure is really, I think this is awesome. Let's watch this part. So this is active tracking in the woods. So since it has such great obstacle avoidance, it can fly around all of these different little trees. So I'm pretty excited to watch the first video of that going wrong. It'll probably be the guy that does the GoPro DC Rainmaker or something. And the power accumulation is pretty cool. I want to touch on that. That's the first time they've ever done that, and it's pretty amazing. So all right. So sorry, Maddie just sent me something. This is what Maddie just sent me. Oh, that's not good. Let's see. Well, that didn't last long, did it? I wonder if that crashed on the like the pre-release like beta software. That's another thing that makes me nervous. Like I see a lot of reviews where people have it for like a month ahead of time and they're like, well, this is pre-released firmware, and like they'll probably have that ironed out by the time it's released. So Maddie said that was Billy Kyle's Air 3. Dang. That sucks. But I feel like Billy Kyle could get his hands on another one pretty easy. So let's go into, I want to run through the specs real quick. They're like specs are specs. I just want to say that. I'm going to give my 2 cents on what the specs mean, just out of my experience with video cameras by themselves and my experience with drones. I've seen a lot of spec-heavy drones put out crappy video, and I've seen some pretty light on the specs drones put out some pretty amazing videos. I was not expecting my Mini 3 Pro to perform as well as it does. Like my DJI Spark was my favorite drone for a long time. My favorite beginner drone that I would always, whenever people decided that they wanted to go into flying, I would always tell them that the DJI Spark is what you should get. Like, it can run into things and it will still work. It doesn't have any folding components besides the blades. So I would tell people to just get a Spark and get a bunch of blades, and then just go out and learn how to fly. You can bounce off trees, you can fall out of things, and it's pretty tough. I'm also the same way with DJI Vata. Like DJI Vata, you know, if you're going to get a drone, like the DJI Vata, I think should be your first drone. It is a drone that can bounce off things. If you want to try out FPV, you know, and flying manual, you can. But if you just want to fly it like a GPS drone, you can do that as well. So for starters that are learning how to fly, I think DJI Vata is a great drone that is pretty solid. Anytime you have a little drone that has folding parts, you know, the most, to me, like the arms that spin around, or, you know, sometimes you think you're supposed to pull them out, but you're really supposed to spin them around, and like that can get really confusing. And, you know, you can loosen up those. Anytime you have moving parts, there's a good chance that that's going to break. But like the Mavic, the Mini 3 Pro is one of those drones that's tiny, but like I have, like when I was with Bob Casey, like I flew it from a mountaintop. Wait, no, I didn't fly it from a mountaintop. I flew it from the bottom, but I flew it over this little knob that we were at. So anyway, with the DJI, dang, that's hard to say, DJI Air 3, we're going to go through some of these specs. I have the Air 2S that shoots amazing video, but there are times when, you know, it's got a rolling shutter. So if it's fighting a lot of wind, you'll see like wobble in the video. So we're going to look at the specs of the DJI Air 3. And just what I love about the Air 3, so all of the Air series, series is where they always introduce more, I want to say like Skydio features. Like they introduce more like the original Air is when they introduced the APAS system where you could fly around things. Is that right? Is that the APAS system? Pretty sure that's the APAS system. But it was like in my first video I ever flew with that drone, I flew it right towards the tripod and it went around my tripod. So the Air series is where it's not as pro as the Mavic Pros, but it's not as nimble as the Minis. It's in the middle, but it's the one with the most sensors on it when it comes out. Okay, so this is omnidirectional sensors, and you know, they've added a lot of the features that some of the more professional drones have had. So we're going to go through this. So we've got a wide angle and a 3 times medium tele lens. The max flight time is 46 minutes. I saw in a video where 46 minutes is if you're flying forward. So you can fly forward for 46 minutes. But like if you're hovering, it's like 42 or something like that. Omnidirectional obstacle sensing, all-around protection. The new 04 HD video transmission. So there's more range with more stability. And that's why they have a new controller. Dual camera, 48 megapixel photos, superior details. Dual camera, 4K, 60 frames per second, HDR videos, effortless, epic images. So I want to just show you this balloon right here. I think it's a video loop, but I feel like both of these shots were taken from the exact same spot. So you put your drone up in the air, you can tell a story. You've got your wide angle of the entire balloon flying over the mountains, and then you can zoom in and see the pilot of the balloon, and so you can get both of those shots kind of from the same position. I really wish, like, they keep coming out with all these drones with multiple cameras in them. I really wish that you could film from both of them at the same time. Like on my DJI Inspire 2, I've got an FPV camera and I have a regular camera, and I would love to be able to film from both of those at the same time. But maybe that's too much to ask. So by the DJI Air 3 camera drone, official online DJI. Oh, that's an ad. I don't want to read that. Dual primary camera system. Air 3 boasts the first dual primary camera system of the Air series. Not the first one in DJI, but just the Air series, embedding a 1/1/3 sensor, 1/1.3 inch CMOS wide angle camera, and a 1/1.3 inch CMOS 3x medium Tele camera in a sleek, compact body. The two cameras have the same sensor size but different focal lengths, delivering consistent image quality. This is another thing that Potato Jet mentioned that a lot of people aren't really concerned about. One of the issues that he had with the Mavic 3 was you had one camera with a micro four thirds, and then you had the other two cameras had the 1/1.3 inch sensors, and all three cameras can't do the same thing because they have different sensors. So the frame rates were different, the megabytes per second, like a lot of the filming modes of the three different cameras were different because they had different sensors on them. Whereas what he liked about this drone was he could lock in, what his frame rate it was, what his I think there was even like differences in like the D logs, I believe. So, but just because they had different sensors, they could do different things. What he liked about this camera was that they both shared the same sensor or sensor size. So you've got a wide angle 24 millimeter with an aperture of 1.7. So wide angle, but an aperture of 1.7 lets in a lot of light. Okay. And then the 3x is a 70 millimeter with a 2.8 aperture. Yeah, Chris, we'll fact check that whenever we go to the Amazon page right after this. Stay tuned, my friend. I've had a lot of specs in my head today, so I'm trying my best. But I really love the look of this. I think it's a really cool looking drone. So here's the 24 millimeter wide angle. It's pretty good. I will say this is fast. Like, I don't see like a lot of rolling shutter in this. It's keeping up with it really, really well. And this might be filming 4K at 100 frames per second. Because you're getting so many frames per second, you don't get a lot of motion blur. Like you get, you get her hair bouncing off of her back. You get this grass blowing in the wind. At a high frame rate, you get some really, really cool footage. Here's a 70 millimeter, which I think looks good too. Now the background looks very blurry, but if you think about it, like at the distance, since this is a 70 millimeter, like they're zooming in to this shot, and that background is really, really far away. Just think how fast that background is moving at like as far as how zoomed in you are. Here's another shot with the wide angle camera. Or no, this is bouncing back and forth between both of them. So you can get a lot of different shots from the same drone without swapping lenses, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and then that's the same shot that we already did. 48 megapixel photos, which are pretty amazing. Both cameras are capable of delivering 48 megapixel photos filled with true to life details, look great, and allow seamless cropping in posts. So this shows you the zoom capabilities. So this is the wide angle shot, and this is what it looks like zoomed in. So just to give you a perspective, this shot, this 48 megapixel zoomed in shot, you could zoom in even further in post using it. So let's see. Get my fact checkers on it. Okay, I don't know how to say that. Is that Lamaze Johnson or is it Lamaze Johnson? It looks like a foreign word, so I want to go with Lamaze, but that's just me trying to sound all cultural. All right, what else do we got? So dual cameras. So both cameras can record 4K 60 frames per second HDR videos. So they support dual native ISO for direct output of HDR video without cropping. This means the footage from either camera can be packed into rich coloring and natural lighting transitions for breathtaking and highly accurate results. So if you look at this this animation, it's showing you the difference between the well, that's log. That's a log animation. But so with the HDR video, so regular video, you can get 100 frames per second. HDR video, which is essentially 3 videos at the same time. You've got a really overexpose, then a regular video, and then an underexposed. So you can grab the detail in the sky, which is usually overexposed, the detail on the ground, which is usually underexposed, and kind of a median in between those. That'll let you get the shadows and the highlights and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got HD log and HLG. So that's pretty awesome. Fly confident, fly safe. So this is the other thing that I thought, this is the first time they've ever done this, and I think it's brilliant. So if you fly, let's say you return to home, at 33%, which is kind of when you're supposed to, with all 3 of your batteries. And then you go to lunch and you put all your batteries in this charging case. What the charging case does is it takes all of the battery juice from the other 2 batteries and fills the 3rd battery, so you can get another flight. If you need to get a couple more shots, just put all your almost used up batteries in the charger, and then they'll redistribute the energy to the 3rd battery. That is brilliant, especially if you're out in the field. Like when I was up on top of that mountain with Bob, you only have what you bring. You can't you could plug it into your car or something like that, but How awesome is that? If like I brought 2 drones, if I've used up all the batteries in one drone and then put them all in this charging case, flew my other drone, by the time I was done flying my other drone, came back to this one, and like your battery's charged again. So I think that's amazing. Like I'm nerding out over this little animation that they did. And then this kind of shows the omnidirectional obstacle sensing. That's so hard to say. Omnidirectional obstacle sensing. So this system enables comprehensive environmental awareness, allowing the Air 3 to detect obstacles in all directions. When obstacles are detected, Air 3 can use APAS 5.0. It is APAS. So I got that right. It's weird that this is the Air 3 and we're at APAS 5. So there's the Air 2, the Air 2S, and this is the 3. So there's 4. I don't know where the other, maybe the APAS, maybe they went up one with the Mini 3 Pro or something. Safer overall flight experience. Even complete beginners can now fly with confidence and execute creative ideas with enhanced safety. That was something that I used a lot this summer, was the sensors. Whenever I was filming the kids at camp, those sensors really helped me focus on what I was doing without getting close to anybody or anything. They really helped out. My drone never stopped once. So I was a good enough pilot that I didn't need it, but it was nice to know that that was in my back pocket. 04 HD video. So video transmission, it provides a max range of 20 kilometers with increased stability and 1080p, 60 frames per second, max quality live feed to ensure ultra smooth viewing operation. And I'll notice that the antennas are back on the controller. I don't know if when they took the antennas off the controller, if they decided that was a bad idea, and then were like, oh yeah, let's put antennas back on the controller. That's probably a good idea. I do love the advanced return to home. I've never been bold enough to try that. I don't even like to click on return to home. I always like to kind of bring the drone back to I like to bring the drone back to me with me having full control over that scenario. But it is kind of neat that it can fly around buildings when it's coming back to you. Because I've had a lot of viewers that didn't have their return to home set correctly and flew right into a tree on the way home. or a stone statue. I do have a viewer that did that too. Intelligent features to fly inspired. I like how they say fly inspired when they use that for their Inspire 3 marketing. Okay, so here's focus track. So Spotlight 2.0. I think I have that on my let's go back to Spotlight. I'm pretty sure I have this on my Inspire 2. I don't know if it's Spotlight 2.0, if it's 1.0, but what Spotlight allows you to do is click on something and then you can fly. You can fly like you normally would, but it controls the camera and focuses the camera on whatever you're supposed to be looking at. Active Track 5.0. So this is tracking through the woods. See, I don't understand why it's not missing a beat on here, but everybody that I saw in the real world, their active track kind of screwed up. Point of interest 3.0. So that's pretty cool. I need to get better at point of interest on my Inspire 2 because it did not work out last time I tried it. We've got quick shots. Hopefully the quick shots will be in 4K. But we've got rocket, droney, circle, helix, boomerang, and asteroid. So hopefully it will have the ability to shoot spheres. I noticed on Potato Jet that you can go up. I was like, I think he either went up 60 or 80 degrees. Like maybe it was 60. He went up. He was able to point up 60 degrees. And there's benefits with both cameras. The bottom camera can actually point up more than the top camera, because when the top camera points up, it's kind of covered by that kind of roof, the top of the drone or whatever. This one has 2.7K vertical shooting, which is good. I feel like I would just shoot full on and then crop the video, but that's me. And then here's master shots. So I use master shots all the time now. Like, I'll fly around and get my own shots. I'll do my drone shooting thing, and then I'll spend the last maybe third of the battery just doing master shots, just to not miss something cool that might have happened. Yep, same wavelength. And then, so hyperlapse, been there, done that. Looks pretty good. I think with 46-minute flight time, you can do a pretty cool hyperlapse. Slow motion, beautiful with 100 frames per second. It says to directly record 4 times slow motion. So if you record 100 frames per second, then when you translate that down to 25 frames per second, that's 4 times. I've started filming in 24 frames per second to get the most out of my slow motion, but that's still 4 times. Night mode. So thanks to advanced noise reduction algorithms, so AI, Air 3 can capture noise-free footage at up to 4K 30 frames per second in low-light environments or at night. So it's got a night mode. These night mode videos look pretty amazing. So this kind of reminds me of Alex's videos. That still is a very well-lit situation. I'm just saying. But usually in these situations, all of the blacks, they just kind of fall apart. That's where you usually see a lot of the noise is in the blacks of the video. But this video looks great. Of course, this was again filmed by a marketing team. Smart Photo 3.0. So in single shot mode, the Air 3 uses Smart Mode 3.0 by default, which can automatically select among HDR, hyperlight, and scene recognition according to the scenario for better imaging results. In HDR DNG format, which is RAW, the camera can record a larger dynamic range with built-in contrast enhancement. So what all that mumbo jumbo means is that, have you ever taken your iPhone and like pointed it, like you're pulling it out, like it's dark, but you're pointing it at the stage to get your kid performing or something like that. And you'll see your phone like adjust the lighting to get that scene right. Or you'll take a photo and it'll take a couple seconds for that photo it'll take a couple seconds to take the photo. That's what this is doing. So Smart Photo is analyzing the situation and getting the best possible photo out of your situation. So I don't know how to say that. Redmeister. Will the old batteries work? No, they won't. So the Air 2 and the Air 2S could share batteries, but they have a whole new battery system for the Air 3. Yes, I answered someone's question with confidence. And then let's go to quick transfer. Quickly download photos and videos of the aircraft to your smartphone through a wireless connection, saving time and effort. So you can quickly transfer your files over Wi-Fi. They have a light cut app. This is just kind of a quick, if you don't feel like editing your video, there's tilt shift. They've got tilt shift in there. I can teach y'all how to do that without, man, that whole thing was tilt shift, wasn't it? But anyway, they've got some one tap editings, and they've added tilt shift effect. So that's pretty awesome. I still think tilt shift is the best thing to do with your drone. Like, drone footage is the best thing, best example of how to use the tilt shift effect. I know Steven Drones doesn't like it. He just thinks it's blurry footage, but I love it. I totally love it, especially that hyperlapse. That time lapse is awesome. I need to do that. I need to make a time lapse. Maybe I should do that with my Inspire with the Micro Four Thirds. It's got waypoints in it. So the first time ever, the waypoint flight feature is now available in the Air series. Plan flight routes and shooting actions. See, I really wish that was in the Air 2S. I would love to play around with waypoints. But the Air 3, so we start over. Plan flight routes and shooting actions for the Air 3 in advance to achieve difficult camera movements and stunning one takes. You can also save flight routes to repeat the same movement with precision at a later time and date, opening the doors to long duration time lapse shots that capture transitions like day to night or season to season. So yeah, these are the different options. All right, so I want to go through these different sensors, or these little specs. So the weight, there's weight differences. So the Air 3 is heavier than the Air 2S, but lighter than the Mavic 3 Pro. So the sensor sizes on the, oh, you are right. So 1/1.3 for the wide, 1/1.3 for the medium on the Air 2S. There's a 1-inch sensor on the Air 2S, but if you go over to the Mavic 3 Pro, we're looking at the Mavic 3 Pro. There's a 4/3 Hasselblad camera on the bottom. Then the medium Tele is the exact same camera on both. And then there's a 1/2-inch sensor on the 7x. Is the medium Tele, is it a 3x? Do you guys know that? So Draymond said, is that true waypoint or the same hyperlapse nonsense waypoint? Pretty sure it's the same nonsense hyperlapse, but we'll look at it. I don't know that for sure. I know that the waypoints on my DJI Inspire 2 are legit waypoints, but I still don't like them because they don't control the camera at all. It's just if I'm going to do a mission and then repeat the mission, I want the camera to be the camera angle and specs to be recorded at the same time. But again, I haven't thoroughly enjoyed waypoints on my Inspire 2 yet, but I need several more flights under my belt before I'm really comfortable talking about waypoints on the Inspire. But yeah, that would be interesting. The Air 3 has the longest. Oh wait, no, we didn't go through here. So the Hasselblad camera on the Mavic 3 Pro can handle 5.1K, and it also has DCI 4K, which is a little bit wider of a 4K. It's the one with the enveloping on the top and bottom. But it has DCI 4K 120 frames per second. And then the smaller camera, the medium Tele, which is the same as the Air 3, has 4K 40 frames per second. But there's nowhere in the Mavic 3 Pro where it mentions HDR. So we actually have 4K HDR at 60 frames per second on the Air 3. 46-minute flight time compared to the 43-minute flight time. But if you look at I was amazed at the flight time on my Air 2S. And so we have another 15 minutes of flight time. So that's half of another battery for the Air 2S, which is pretty awesome. So the 04 has 20 kilometers. So if you notice, all of these are the same, except there's 30 frames per second on the Air 2S. The 03 Plus is 15 kilometers. This is 20 kilometers. So you have even better connection on this. Yeah, I still want to like DJI's waypoints. So I still want to figure out how to do them correctly using the DJI app, but I can do a whole bunch more with DroneLink. So, and the thing that drives me crazy about DroneLink now is that it's in beta for the Mini 3 Pro, but you have to have an Android device. It's not supported with iOS. So DJI has locked out iOS on their SDK, which is a little frustrating there. So Bob says, gotta go. Late supper pizza time, and he's hungry. Peace out. Peace out, Bob. Okay, so let's get into the rest of these specs. So the max height speed, horizontal speed is the same on both of them, 21 milliseconds. Oh wait, that's weird. Okay, so they go the same horizontal speed, but the Air 3, which is something that Potato Jet mentioned, that it was super fast going up and down. So getting up in the air to get your shot is a lot faster, and getting back down to the ground. So you could fly it into the ground pretty easily if you're not watching what you're doing. So Eternal Sky says, I think it is more likely that Apple is stalling DJI. What's up, Doug? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, Eternal. Hope you're having a good night. Welcome to the chat. I don't think anybody else snuck in here without me saying hi. And then the max altitude height is the same on the Mavic 3 Pro as well as the Air 3. And what that just means is I've never had that problem because I'm in Tennessee, and like I think our highest mountain is not anywhere close to this takeoff altitude. But a lot of people that take their drones up to the Alps and fly around mountains and stuff like that, that's where that is really it's basically harder to fly in thinner air above sea level and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. So we'll look at the prices right now. Come on, you can do it. So the Air 3 with the RC N2 is $1,000. The RC N2 is does not have a screen on it. Then they offer two Flymore packages. One with there's the RC N2 right there. So one with the Flymore package with three batteries, and the regular is $1349, and then with the RC2, it is $1549. They don't mention whether. Haven't seen anything about the Pro. So let's see. That's what's in the box. There's another thing with specs. Yeah. So the Mini 3 Pro has a 1/1.3 sensor as well. So the camera on the Mini 3 Pro is the same as the camera on the Air 3. They just have two cameras on it. But the processing power on the Air 3 is a lot better, so it can process videos a lot better. So everybody's leaving. Why are y'all leaving me? It's 8:06. That's why. All right. So, Draymond, no, you have to actually fly to the location. That's the other thing that I don't like. I get it, but I would rather look at a map and plan out my where I want to fly the drone and then let it do it. So those are the waypoints that I like better. So a couple things I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the club and see if John posted his new stuff. Nope. Let's see if he sent it to me. Nope. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to do is I just kind of wanted to show you guys. This is a video that I don't know if I'm going to put on my channel or not, but I wanted to show you guys kind of a behind the scenes of my Sunday. So we're just going to pop this on. We're going to pop me off. Oh, do that, and I'm going to play this video. What's up, y'all? Sean here. So I got all the way out here to Lebanon, Tennessee. I dropped my son off at Sonic so he could hang out with his girlfriend for half hour, and got everything ready to come out here. I took the Crystal Sky off of my controller and put just the regular iPad mount. But my iPad wouldn't fit on it. My iPad's too big. So we're flying with my iPhone 14. But this is the first chance I've had to record the screen on the DJI Inspire 2, because Crystal Sky, you can't record the screen. So I thought it'd be kind of cool just to fly around. But if you're looking at the screen right now, you can tell that there's no SD card in the drone. So about 35 miles that way is my SD card, and I'm not about to buy one while I'm out here just so I can get this flight done. But you guys are sitting on my car. Yeah. So I'm going to fly around, and you are just going, this is going to be a telemetry video because I don't have an SD card in here. But I'm getting comfortable with using the X5S on here. I'm getting more comfortable with the controls. They're very dumbed down controls on the Inspire. They're more meant for setting the camera and just flying into positions. But there's hardly any smart modes in here. There's things like cruise control, where it just goes in one direction and then you can man the camera. There's waypoints. They're very preliminary waypoints. I don't even want to call them waypoints because it just doesn't do anything. You just fly from one spot to another spot, but it doesn't even control the camera. So any kind of mission you really can't do with this. You can do time lapse and you can do different things like that. But I'm definitely backlit. But I'm hoping that I come across on here, but I've got everything in auto, and there's a huge just white background behind me. So we're going to get this up in the air, and yeah, we'll just screen record all of this. And I'll just give you some commentary. There's an interstate right over there, so I'm going to stay away from that direction. We're kind of in there's just a bunch of warehouses around here, so I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to go straight up in the air, get over this building, fly around. But since this is the first time that I've used my phone instead of the Crystal Sky, I just want to make sure that everything functions correctly. So it's not going to be a crazy flight, but, just come with me on my journey. I really wish there was a way to snap the camera back to center. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but what I've done in the past is I've put my FPV camera up, which is what we have here, and then I kind of move, home point. I don't want to do anything into the home point right now. So let's get that off. That's how I do it in the air, just so I can orient myself with the FPV camera. But here, I'm going to look straight at the drone, and we're going to drag. Drag it till we're centered. And hopefully that's pretty centered. So yeah, let's get it over to a safe place and get her off the ground. No SD card inserted. Whoop-a-doo. All right. All right, let's just get up in the air. Let's see if I can. So I can change the gimbal, like the way it follows.
but I wish there was just a quick control that I could put it back to center. Like double tapping doesn't do anything. All right, let's just get up in the air.
Takeoff. The home point has been updated. Landing gear raising.
All right, y'all. So I couldn't see what I was doing with my sunglasses on. So we're gonna point the gimbal down about 10 degrees. Go forward. Ooh, we're fast. Look at the building. My gimbal's going to be a little crooked in this flight. I want to get above the building just so we're not. Let's go ahead and get maybe about 200 feet. Y'all, the Inspire, that crooked, I don't like that. We're going to come back down and we're going to recalibrate the gimbal. Well, while we're up, well, no, I want to calibrate the gimbal. Where are we at on battery? 22 minutes.
Landing gear lowering.
All right. So you can see the gimbal is crooked. So I'm going to go in here, go to camera, recenter the gimbal. Gimbal auto calibrate. That's a pretty font.
Before you buy $1 million view like this, create a faceless YouTube automation channel first. In fact,
It's still crooked. But it's not as crooked as it was, so we're gonna go with it. All right, we're gonna take off again.
Takeoff. The home point has been upped. Landing gear raising.
Landing gears up. Get back up to about 200 feet. 220. So there's the interstate. So I don't want to be on top of one of these buildings if something happens. So everything's so touchy on this drone. It's kind of a cool shot. Don't know what that is. I don't want my drone to fall in private property. So we're going to come back around. Just kind of getting my feel for the drone, y'all. The little tiny drones like the Mini 3 Pro or the Avata are drones that are kind of expendable in my eyes. But the Inspire 2 is a professional tool. And since we're recording my screen, we're getting a bunch of notifications, which I don't like. What I do love about the Inspire is you can see it from really far away. How far are we? We're about 900 feet away, and it's a big black spot in the sky. It's really, really hard to miss.
Maximum
Do a little
flight
loop.
distance reached.
Come back around here. Got about 14 minutes. I don't think we're gonna be in the air that long. Gonna kind of go towards the interstate a little bit. Something I do like about DJI is they record the entire flight on that map. And we actually have maps this time because I've got a data plan on my phone, whereas we didn't have that before. As soon as I plugged my phone in, it started doing firmware updates, and I got the approved flight maps updated and everything. Now, I'm not going to go over the interstate, and that white building down there is about where I'm at. So I'm going to come back around. Don't really want to do a rescue today, so we're going to stay away from the rooftops. All right. So now I'm going to go right over me. I don't know if you can hear that, but 220 feet up in the air, and it is loud and clear. Can't sneak up on anybody with the Inspire, y'all. I can hear the wind hitting it too. It's like whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, we're gonna do that loop again. Got about 12 minutes left. I don't know what that is. There's a lot of stuff over here, so I don't want it to engage in a return to home. I would much
Maximum
rather bring
flight
the drone
distance
home
reached.
by myself than to hit return to home. To me, return to home is more of a fail-safe. When I was starting out my YouTube channel, I would just hit return to home and I'd be like, hey y'all, watch this. But now, return to home doesn't always do what I want it to. But it's always nice that, you know, if you lose connection, it'll come back to you. Or if I also have this set to do not turn the motors off in the air. Sometimes that's a oh crap. There's a Unique Typhoon H Plus has an oh crap button that will just turn everything off. Like if a helicopter's coming to it, like turn it off. We're not going to do that this time. I think this Penske place is kind of cool. It's got like yellow trucks. Just a happy Sunday flying. Nobody around me to bother me. I'm getting a little too close to the interstate. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. All right, let's come over to me. So, I don't know how long we've been flying, but got 9 minutes left on the battery. I think I'm gonna hover right there. I'm gonna look straight down and see where we're at. So if it has to come down, I don't want it to come down in the road. So I want it to come down right about there. All right, so we're close enough to home that I can fly straight up and it'll come straight back down if it needs to. So, whoa, look how high I can go up. 29 degrees up in the air, y'all. It's pretty cool. Man, I wish we had spear mode. Dang, we went down to 7 minutes pretty fast. Should I go up or should I come back down? I think we're gonna come down. All right. Now it's drifting a little bit, so I want to get it away from... Oh, did you see that? It just freaked out. It's pretty close to that tree. I think it's about as close as I want to get to it.
Landing gear lowered.
Landing gear down. And we're just going to land it right there.
Landing.
It's got a pretty aggressive landing. Like, we're going to get y'all
Addy
back up
mode.
here. So if I'm down there, I'm lit. All right, y'all, that was it. Hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications when I put out more videos on the DJI Inspire 2. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Peace out. Turn all this off. All right, y'all, that was it. Don't know if I'm gonna put that video on my channel or not. There's parts of that I don't really want to edit out, but I wanted to do a proper video of me recording the screen and filming with the Micro Four Thirds X5S, because I think that would make a better video of me commentating, and then, you know, my kind of style of going back and forth between the screen recording and the actual footage. But I think after this, all the conversations that have been going on, I think I'm going to focus on waypoints versus drone link is probably going to be my next, kind of my next focus with the Inspire. I also have a mount that I purchased for the bottom of it, that I have flown my Insta360 RS on the bottom of it, but it's rated for the Insta360 Pro. So I might do a video of that. And I also have a Samsung 360 round on the way, which was a $10,000 360 camera 5 years ago. And it's pretty much obsolete at this point. So you can find them for $400 to $500 on eBay. So I got one coming to me in the mail. We're going to do some videos with that, but yeah. So we're really teeter-tottering between consumer, prosumer, and enterprise. So I want to focus on a lot of those different things. I really feel like the enterprise market would benefit from a lot of the features that they put in these consumer drones. So just like Drone Link and Litchi are, the same. And there was another one, I forget what it was called. It was like AirPlay or something. I never bought that one, but the waypoint missions that you can create with Drone Link, and the things that I've seen Litchi do, are way more. I don't know, they just have so many more things in them than what DJI offers as waypoints. And even my Parrot Anafi, the Parrot Anafi is how I got into waypoint missions, and I could create, actually the Parrot Bebop. I created some killer missions with my Parrot Bebop, and that was like 8 years ago. And waypoints is still just where it's at today. Oh, I think the background is awesome right now, like flying through the buildings. But I don't know. I guess it depends on where your focus is. But, with building an Inspire 3 that can fly around anything, that has, a drone that big with sensors all around it, I mean, give us like some serious mission creating tools. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's about all I'm going to say about that. I told you guys I was going to have a short night, and it's 8:30 because I talked a lot. So if y'all would continue to pray for my eye, I think it's almost back to normal. But if you would continue to have me in your prayers, that would be awesome. And yeah,
Hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications when I put out more live streams, more videos on the Air 3 and upcoming drones, action cameras, 360 cameras, all the good stuff. Have a wonderful week, y'all, and I'll catch you on the next live stream. Peace out.